There's a lot of like things that need to line up for something to happen. And you may be like, dang, I didn't know it was that deep. Yes, it is. There was an Upwork request to write for Young Living's blog on the anti-MLM Reddit, subreddit, however you want to call it. Boom, there it is. I will have that link in the description below. You're probably like, what is Upwork? What is... Okay, so Upwork and Fiverr are kind of like the Uber and Airbnb, but for freelance work. So you can hire somebody to help create a logo for you, a website, other stuff. I have information on that below. You can check it out. And then Reddit is like the front page of the internet. So picture like the newspaper in paper form, but Reddit is like basically where people create their own comments and threads and stuff. So yeah, it's always a good time in the anti-MLM subreddit because you get some information. It's mostly one-sided. I would say almost always one-sided, which is in the name, anti-MLM, which is why I do these videos, to provide another side or the other perspective or the other side of the coin, however you want to call it. And without further ado, let's read off what this individual had to say. They said, last night I got a request to write 6 articles for $2,500. Okay. Money, 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 money. Alright. They said, I didn't read the full invite right away, but my quick maths, ooh, said if they wanted 500 words, standard length for content marketing. So we're learning some stuff now. Okay. Dropping some digital marketing knowledge up in here. That would come to about $416.66 per article. Wow, ran the numbers, all right. Even if they wanted 1,200 words, that would still be an okay payday. I would say so, depending on, you know, how many hours it took you to do that, but yeah, hey. The job invite was a wall of text, which is a yellow flag in my book. A yellow flag, not a red flag yet. If the job description is more words than the actual job, that means the client is probably very demanding. Wow. That's interesting. I haven't heard of that. Okay, so they obviously have experience with Upwork, which is, again, is the freelance website for your talents and services. And, okay. They said, this morning I finally read the details. I decided to mark the job as spam, dang, and decline their offer. Wow. Here's the bullet points. They want to pay $2,500 for 21,000 words. That's plus or minus 12 cents per word. My low rate is 27 cents per word, so they got standards, clearly. It's important to have standards. They said they are paying less than 12 cents per word because Upwork takes 20%, by the way. So yeah, you know, the platform got to take their cut. That's normal. It varies. Sometimes companies take, you know, around 10%. Sometimes they take 20, 30%, depending on if it's Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, Upwork, Fiverr. These are all like the peer-to-peer marketplaces. There we go. That's what you call it. Next bullet. I need to provide 6 unpaid in capital letters, writing samples, 300 words each. So they got to do a little bit of work on the front end without the money. Then the next bullet was, I must use Young Living products, i.e. become their downline. Oh, snap. So this is, you know, part of a distributor's way to recruit, maybe, or to ensure that they're getting content, but it's interesting. This is very interesting. Okay, here we go. Some people are like, I can use Upwork and Fiverr to have people write my blogs. I just gotta pay them. Alright, here we go. Then they said, I must submit a photo of myself. Upwork already provides my photo. Also, are you planning to discriminate based on looks, question mark? You're hiring a ghostwriter, exclamation point. It's getting kind of, you know, Whew, there's an oil for that. Okay, last bullet point is, I must write an unpaid testimonial. Yes, testimonials are unpaid. This is a red flag because it's yet another attempt to make sure you are their customer. Okay. So yes, they are basically looking to extract whoever created this job on Upwork. From here they say, from the moment I read, I am creating a new website that focuses on sane, safe, affordable, natural, effective products and saw that wall of text, I knew this job had a catch. Yeah, I mean, some people say if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. That's why I try to provide more of a balanced approach to anything, products or services I provide, and I even refer out some stuff sometimes if I don't think that it's in my wheelhouse of things that I do or want to do. Other red flags this person mentions. Their goal is for readers to purchase kits. Okay, makes sense. Then they say MLMs always want you to join the opportunity versus enjoy the product like a regular customer. I would agree if you're mentioning that in the context of traditional network marketing, which leads with the business opportunity and focuses on recruiting and selling. That could be a company, that could be a team, that could be an individual. The opposite of that is authentic network marketing, which is my focus and which is the focus of the company I'm with. Teams may vary, individuals may vary, but that focus is leading with powerful products, teaching, and sharing. That should always be the focus, in my opinion. But this person clearly is overgeneralizing, which leads to inaccuracies, but it's easy to put something in a box. I get that. Then they say, I'm sure anyone who applies to this job has to purchase a kit. That's probably a safe assumption. Then the next red flag that they mention is the client has a verified payment method, but they haven't hired anyone for the 11 jobs they've posted. People either see the scam or they've tricked some poor fool to go off platform and become their downline. That's some interesting information. You can see if jobs have been, booked or, been hired out for on the platform as well. And then the last bullet point is they've invited 44 people to the scam, but 30 haven't responded. Okay, so they have a high non-response rate. And then this person finally says in all capitals, hard pass. And then there's a little, is this an image? Let me see, I'm just clicking on it here. Okay, so yeah, this is, the link will be in the description below, but you can see the exact picture and screenshot. I mean, this person went the extra mile. There are about 35 comments at the time of this posting. And, there's a lot of people in here, giving their 2 cents. I think what I will say to this is Upwork is a great platform to hire out stuff that will help you in your business, whether it be as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, or if you work for somebody else. I think it's a great platform. Fiverr is also really good as well. However, what I will say is that posting things that make people make Reddit posts, and nobody makes you do anything, but when you post stuff on platforms like that and they have a lot of red flags and then they share that on Reddit, it creates a lot of negative ill will or negative goodwill or negative branding for the company. I just think it's not recommended. If you're going to write a blog or have somebody do that, I don't think you should make the requirement being a customer, right? That's the first thing, and that would require you also paying money to them. So if you're getting paid as a freelancer to do work for somebody and write a blog, you should not need to pay to do that unless you truly want to, right? Unless you're like, I love and believe the product so much and understand the value proposition so much that I want to become a customer. That is what should come out of your mouth, and it should not be like as a requirement to hire them for a freelance job for a blog. So that is a learning lesson, and that would be a red flag for me because I've done freelance work and I do freelance work on Fiverr and I've hired people out on Upwork and stuff, but I don't have the approach of you have to become a customer of mine in a different business. That's kind of like it's almost like the ultimatum strategy where I'm only going to buy from you if you buy from me. And that doesn't work in a grocery store. Like, I don't go to the grocery store and be like, all right, I'm getting this kale and this chard and these bananas and apples and oranges for my green smoothie. Oh, cashier, in order for me to purchase this, you're going to need to buy this right here. It's called frankincense. And, yeah, oh, in order to do that, you're going to need to get a kit. And that doesn't even make sense. Like, that's not reasonable. But I've had people do that in another company I've done a video on. We're not going to mention their names or the company because that's already been covered. But I will just say that the ultimatum strategy is not a good one. That's a red flag. And I know how to recognize that real quick. Now it's like, And I will use that analogy with somebody too. I would just use I statements because they're less, offensive. They're more defensive. Like, what I've learned is this. Give the grocery store analogy. Or you can use the feel, felt, found technique. Is I can understand how you feel. I felt that way too in the past, but what I found is that, you know, it's important to add value to people and pre-qualify with questions to see if their needs and goals match up with what you're offering, because ultimately you want to see if there's a good fit. And if there's not, it's okay. You know, you can give a referral, you can part ways, you can do a lot of things that doesn't necessarily require them joining with you as a customer or business builder. And that's the most reasonable response I can give, and that's the keep a real response. And people, if real recognizes real, you're good, but some people still don't respect that decision, and then I have to have the skill set to end the conversation because they're not being reasonable. And that may mean walking out on somebody after saying, hey, you know, I've let you know where I stand. I'm just being clear. Like, for me, I would look at that as a personal development exercise. How do you end a conversation with respect, but also be very direct and say, look, you know, I've let you know where I stand. It sounds like that's not being respected, and so I'm just going to end things right now. And I've had to do that once before, and I wish I would have done it multiple times before, but I didn't have the skill set. Now I do. You also have to have the skill set plus a lot of courage because you have to be willing to walk away when somebody isn't honoring what you're looking for. And I'm a pretty easy sell. Like if we just get to know each other and you just, you know, treat it like we're building a relationship instead of you proposing on one knee after the first interaction with a engagement ring for marriage, then we're good. You know, like I think, you know, what I mean by that is so many times people are like, hey, would you marry me? You know, it's like, I just met you. Like, come on. I know I keep using the marriage analogy, but a lot of my audience is married, so they can probably relate. Or people have been married, so they can probably relate. But anyways, point I'm trying to make is it's important to get to know people and build relationships over time, because not everyone is in the market for what you're offering, and they have to get in the market or in the mood and be looking for something in order for them to actually make a purchasing decision. On top of knowing, liking, and trusting the person, product, and company, there's a lot of like things that need to line up for something to happen. And you may be like, dang, I didn't know it was that deep. Yes, it is. But once you understand that, it's like, okay, and you can read these kind of Reddit posts and be like, oh, well, this is what happened, and this is what they should have done differently. Or so hopefully you have in your mind some mistakes to avoid, some best practices to maybe implement, and go from there. And let's see, is there anything else with that? And that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you did. Hit subscribe for future video updates if you haven't already done so. And check out that Reddit post below. I will have that link down there so you can add to the comment section or just see in more detail what actually happened.